Not just another episode, a celebratory episode today.
Woohoo!
We did it, everyone. We're national.
Woo!
No, we're international. Yeah, you should know the difference between national and international if you're a travel podcast.
You would think so.
Welcome to our savings starts tomorrow.
Never gets old.
Never gets old. We're a married couple. I'm John. That's Jen. And we drink some wine and just talk about our travel trips. And in fact, why we're celebrating today is that we made the Canadian podcast charts.
Woohoo!
Canada's borders just opened up also. So after being closed for 17 months.
I can't wait to go.
I know. That's like my thing.
Right?
Like, let's do this.
Yes.
And we always drink some kind of wine when we do our podcast. So we're drinking a Canadian wine today.
Really?
Did you know that Canada specializes in ice wine?
No, I didn't.
It does not sound like it would speak to us. It's like a dessert wine.
Yeah. Sounds very sweet.
Yeah. It's like the sugars, they kind of freeze them, and it's syrupy, and it's just, but if you're the home of maple syrup, of course you're okay with a syrupy type wine.
Yes.
I'm really just talking down all of our Canadian listeners.
No, we
just
love
as we
it.
charted.
You know what? Maybe it's good over like ice cream.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
Let's get some ice wine and pour it over ice cream.
But we are drinking a white wine from Lightfoot and Wolfville from Nova Scotia, which is part of Canada. So speaking of wine, we have a lot of great wine stories from Napa and Sonoma that we're going to share with you. But first, a brand new sponsor.
Woohoo!
Military True Crime Addict is a podcast about crime relating to actual life events of military personnel, veterans, family members, and really those associated with the military in any way. They explore just actual true crime stories, which you love crime stories.
I love true crime.
They give me nightmares.
Yeah.
I live in this like fake Disney World life where everyone's just smiling and singing like happy songs. And these true crime stories, when I realize that people are so horrible,
Yes.
it ruins me as a human.
I know.
So I let you listen to them, and then you filter and tell me.
Yes.
Yeah. And a lot of these stories have never been reported on by the news outlets or media. So these are stories that upon hearing, you're going to be astonished by. And we got to learn from history. So you don't need to know anything about the military to enjoy this podcast. They're just original true crime stories. And the latest one, which I did listen to because I wanted to make sure I listened to it. It was great. It's about the original Buffalo Bill. And if you watch Silence of the Lambs, you know about Buffalo Bill. So again, it's called Military True Crime Addict. All right, let's talk Napa.
Napa
Or
and Sonoma.
Sonoma.
Both. We're doing both.
What is
We're
there
going to both.
a difference? Does it matter?
I mean, there's technically a difference, but it's all the same.
The difference is $100 per night at a hotel room.
Yeah.
Not anymore. That's my thing.
Not anymore. It used to be that Napa was much more commercialized and Sonoma was more like laid back, like go in, get free tastings, like how Napa used to be.
Right.
But now they're both the same.
They're both expensive.
They're both expensive.
They're both bougie as can be. You can't go anymore and kind of slum it when you go to these places.
No.
It's kind of high class, an expensive weekend, but it's a lot of fun.
So much fun. I love me some wine tasting in Napa and Sonoma.
I would say that this is one of the places you've gone to the most.
It probably is.
Like, yeah, not even exaggerating.
I know.
We've gone together. We've gone separate. I think sometimes you fly there on a weekend when it's been hard with the kids.
I would like to.
escape. You've done a bunch of like bachelorette parties there.
Yep. I've done just girls' weekends there.
Any excuse.
Any excuse.
Birthdays,
Yes.
whatever it is. And I think the only way to start this podcast is to tell the story of you in the Ralph Lauren tasting room.
Oh my gosh. Why would we start there?
Well, I feel like it's, to let people know who you are as a person.
Okay, I've got a bunch of tips, okay,
Yes.
that I'll be sharing
Yes.
throughout the podcast.
Okay.
Tip number 1. Oh gosh, there's so many. So, tip number 1 is eat, okay? And just so you know, as much as I love cheese is not a meal, okay? You go to these tasting rooms and different wineries, and none of them have like actual food.
No, they have a bunch of like tapas, like little appetizers.
Not even that. It's
Sometimes
like
just
cheese
nuts.
and crackers
Yeah.
or nuts. That's not a meal, okay? And you're having so much fun. And anyways,
It's beautiful weather, and you're just enjoying yourself. So what happened if you're telling us we need to eat? What happened?
This was probably the 4th winery that we decided to go to on a girls' weekend. And I had too much to drink. So we go into this Ralph Lauren tasting room, and so it is decked out all Ralph Lauren.
Yeah.
Like the furniture. I mean, there are little tchotchkes and things that you can buy, but like they're all crystal. And we sat down at this beautiful table that was like all decked out and all Ralph Lauren silverware and everything. It was so nice. And then they do this whole tasting, and I was that person.
Yeah. You're the one that they're like, oh gosh.
Please. I was so obnoxious.
Get her some water.
I was so obnoxious. The wallpaper that they had, it wasn't wallpaper. It was like this padded fabric that was on the wall. I was up against the wall. Like, I'm like, look at me. I'm laying on the wall. I was a mess. I was ridiculous. People had to tell me to stop picking things up because I was like...
You must have been 22 when you did this.
Obviously. Oh, no, that was like 3 years ago.
You are a mother? You are a businesswoman? You were as bad as the college girls in Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you were a woo girl.
For sure.
Oh, my gosh.
Bad.
One of my favorite times that we went to Sonoma, and really Napa, we stayed in Sonoma, though, was we stayed at the Fairmont Sonoma Mission Inn.
So pretty
which
there.
Which is beautiful. Yeah, and the water's like, I don't know, it's classy water. I think they fill it up with like Evian every morning.
Oh, I think
the pool was like that nice.
Right?
Yeah. And the only reason we stayed here was we, again, had too much to drink at an auction.
Gosh, there's really like a theme every week.
We overbid at an auction, and we ended up winning this trip, which ended up being great. I
wanted this trip. Like, I was like, we're going on this trip. I don't care the cost.
And it was really when we got to go, just you and I, with a car service around Sonoma and Napa. And that is tip number 2.
Oh my gosh. Get yourself a driver.
Yeah.
Do not try to drive yourself.
Don't. First of all, it's not fun.
It's not fun.
And you don't know where things are. You got to follow your Google Maps. And then I'm telling you right now, you think, 3 wineries. I can do that. I'm an adult.
Yeah. No, you can't.
No, you can't.
I'm an adult. And guess what? I was laying against a wall at the Ralph Lauren tasting room. I'm pretty sure I'm never allowed back.
They start pouring. You start drinking. You don't ever eat enough. It's kind of hot out some days.
Oh.
And the next thing you know, by the 3rd winery, all wines taste the same at that point.
They really
You're not
do.
noticing any kind of notes of hibiscus or lavender.
No.
You are just tasting grape, and your tongue's kind of like, la, 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 la.
Yeah,
and
but
then,
it's so fun.
Then, wineries 4 through 6. And by the end, you go back to, let's say, the Fairmont Sonoma Mission Inn because you've had too much, and you decide to start on another auction.
Oh, gosh.
Because why not? Because one auction to get there isn't enough. You find an art auction going on, and you start thinking to yourself, oh, I'm a millionaire. I'm going to participate and buy this really expensive piece of art.
Yep. That happens.
And then you wake up, say 2 o'clock in the morning, because you fell asleep like at 6 in the afternoon.
In full panic attack mode, thinking, did I actually bid that much money?
Or surely someone must have outbid us at some time.
Please, God. Please, God. Please, you know that we don't have that much money.
And that's when you have to check your email to find out, no, you won the auction. You won the piece of art.
Yep.
And it's coming shipped to you, and they've already taken it off your credit card. Still paying for it.
Yep.
Still pay for it.
Beautiful art.
Love it.
It's so nice.
I couldn't look at it for the first year after buying. It made me sick every time I saw it to know that we did that to ourselves. Now I love it.
I know.
But like, oh my gosh, our kids can't go to college now.
I know.
It's terrible.
I know.
All right, should we talk about some of the wineries that we love?
Yeah, let's talk about some that we love.
You want to go first?
Sure.
Let's go back and forth. What's your favorite winery?
Duckhorn.
Oh, Duckhorn. Yeah.
It's first of all, I love Duckhorn wine, but then the winery itself is this like plantation style. And first of all wineries, they're so beautiful.
Yeah.
Like the grounds are incredible, and these grounds are just as incredible as everywhere else. But it's like this plantation. You can sit outside on this big porch, or you can sit inside. So beautiful.
I would have thought you would have said Domain Carneros.
Oh shoot,
was that not even on your list?
No, it wasn't. It was on your list. I read your list, and so
Domain Carneros is known for sparkling wine.
I love Domain
Champagne, but it's not champagne because it's not from Champagne. Yeah. And it is this huge estate.
Ugh, so pretty.
And you pull up and you have to walk up like 100 stairs to get up there. So go early.
Yes.
Because if you go after a few wineries, it's harder to get up said stairs. And
just go there first. You know why? Because you'd start breakfast with sparkling.
Yeah.
Like a mimosa, but without the juice.
And your favorite sparkling wine is there, Le Rêve.
Le Rêve.
And not only is the wine great, but the food's great there. Mm-hmm. You know what we did realize though? So
it's not food. It's like
food
snacks.
with quotes.
Snacks.
Yeah.
You can't see my quotes. Snacks.
They don't actually give you anything, but they whisper food into your ear.
Yes.
And you feel a little
like
full.
you're yeah.
But one thing we did learn, and we're from Utah, so it's a little different for us. When we go to like Napa and Sonoma, they try to get you all to sign up for their wine clubs.
Yes, I wish we could.
Where they ship you. I'm glad we don't, because man, if you don't think we couldn't afford this art, we could not afford the amount of wine clubs you'd want us to get. But they ship like 6 bottles at a time. I don't know what it is. We've never been a part of one. But they can't ship it to Utah.
I know.
So we always say like, oh, we're from Utah, and they won't bother us as much. No. And we used to be like, oh, high five.
Yep.
Look, they can't upsell us. They're going to leave us alone. Mm-hmm. But now we've learned, because they can't upsell us, they also won't give any special pours.
Yep.
So if you're trying to be wined and dine, they'll end up pulling out some like their reserve stuff, things that aren't on the tasting menu, and they'll pour it for you in hopes that you'll sign up for these clubs.
Right.
They won't even do that for us anymore.
Nope.
The people next to us at Domain Carneros, they were trying to get to sign up. This is how we realized
Yep,
this.
I remember.
And she was like, you know what? I'm going to go down to the basement. Oh. And I've got
the cellar.
The cellar. And I've got this really nice presidential wine. Something, whatever. And they're like, oh, yeah, we'd love some of that. And we're like, well, we want some of that.
And she was not that friendly about it.
She was not, because it was only something for members. Mm-hmm. And they ended up pouring us a thimble of, and we couldn't even taste it. Like, that's how tiny it was, because we were not going to sign up as a member.
Which is kind of crazy, because first of all, we paid for the tasting, and we got the like expensive tasting, and then we also bought like 2 bottles of Rev.
Yeah, you could have given us something.
Not cheap. Like, really?
But I appreciate you, while we're at Domain Carneros, not rolling around on the walls. So thank you.
Well, because we went there first. You got to go there first. Go to your classy place first.
And then downhill. You know what, though? Speaking of tastings, you should know, like, tastings used to be like $10.
Oh, no. They're like 50 plus. 50 plus.
And each one lasts about an hour. So if you think about it, if you go to 4 places, you're going to spend.
I really recommend. That was kind of one of my tips.
Yeah.
3.
3?
Honestly.
And then just drink a bottle back at the hotel?
Honestly, you get too sloshed.
You get
as
too
someone
sloshed. More
with experience.
Maybe someone who's a little more classy would not get as.
I am very classy, first of all. No, but like you said earlier, it all kind of starts tasting the same.
No, you're just going to drink at that
it's point. Like you should go to 1, maybe 2, go have a nice late lunch somewhere.
That's a good idea.
Maybe do 1 more and call it, and then do a nice dinner.
Okay. But by dinner, it doesn't matter anyways. I'm telling you, dinner is Taco Bell.
Okay, just so you know, on that same trip, we booked a nice Italian place. I meant to look it up. I forgot. But it was like on the main strip in Napa. It was probably very good and very expensive. I do not remember it at all.
So you paid like $100+ for your meal.
I'm pretty sure I just handed all the girls my card and was like, I don't know.
Great.
I don't know.
You know, and they used to, with the tasting, if you bought a bottle, they'd comp the tasting.
Yeah.
They don't do that anymore.
No.
So we didn't even get I think you got like 10% off.
Yeah.
Like they've really changed the way they sell things there.
I still love it though.
I know. We're not knocking it.
I'm not knocking it. It's just, it's not the way that it used to be.
No. Another great winery was Gun Bun.
Oh, yeah. That's a fun.
Good luck, Bunchlau Winery.
I love, Gun Bun's good. They have their porch pounder.
Yes. Yeah, I looked it up. It's their Mountain Cuvée, which is their porch pounder. Another one you really like there was the Rhine Farm Rosé.
Yep.
But it is the oldest continuously family-owned winery, and it's like one of those, if you've never been to Napa, you have to go to Gun Bun.
Yeah.
You just have to.
Yeah. And it's very low-key. It's not as like bougie fancy like some of these other ones. It's like picnic style, but beautiful. I mean, again, the grounds are beautiful. They have these lakes that you can sit over, and they also had some like different snacks.
Yeah.
More hearty snacks, I feel like.
Can I give a winery that I wouldn't recommend?
Oh, yes.
Is that okay? Can we
Please
do? Is that? I mean, we're positive. We love Napa, but I just want to say there is one we went to.
Yes.
It's called Castillo de Amorosa, and it's medieval times meets Napa Valley. It's literally a medieval castle that this rich dude built, and you do a tour. Which,
okay, but the castle is
the castle was cool.
really cool.
It was fun. The tour was fun. It was long.
It was a little long.
But you walk through this castle that was built recently, but it looks like an old medieval castle.
Right.
And they even have like all these like torture equipment
Yeah.
and swords that you can look at. And then you walk down through the barrel room. But the wine
Not good.
is not good at all.
No.
And you could tell everyone felt that way.
I know.
Like not
And then
one
you feel
person-
like very pressured because you're in that like small little tasting cellar.
with like 9 other people.
Yeah, and you're just like trapped in there. I think they lock the door and then they make you try all the wines and then they're like, "Okay, what do you want to buy?" And we're like, "Oh, we're from Utah. We can't buy anything."
Exactly. Let us out. I gotta pee.
I think we even thought about buying their grape juice to bring home for the kids.
We did.
But that wasn't good.
It was not good.
I don't. No offense to those that like it. I mean, if you like it.
You're wrong. No. All right. What's another winery that you have?
Let's see. I've been to so many.
Cake Bread?
Cake Bread was on there. That was a cool one. We've done the tour there.
Yeah. Cake Bread was really fun. And they will let you sample even the Chardonnay, which is what they're known for. Menage a Trois.
Yep. It's
It's a
more of a
little
tasting room.
Yeah, it's kind of smaller, but you can have like a picnic outside.
Yep.
So that's really nice.
Paradux.
Oh, yeah.
It's another, I think it's like a sister of Duckhorn, but they have a really pretty like outside picnic area that's really cool.
You know, not a tasting room, but another thing everyone does in Sonoma and Napa is it's the food, right?
Oh,
And
great food.
I will tell you personally, one of my favorite places we went to is it the Girl and the Fig or the
Yes.
Fig and the Girl? Well, the Girl and the Fig makes more sense.
Girl and the Fig.
Yeah.
We ate there twice
Yeah.
when we were there.
I know. That's how good
That's how good it was. And we didn't make reservations.
Which I would
You really
yeah.
should make reservations, especially if you've got more than 2 people and you want to go at like main time. Like, I don't know, we're old. So like we literally had dinner at like 4:00.
Yeah.
So
I know. But we ended up finding like a tasting room while we waited. So.
yeah. But oh my gosh, the food was amazing. I think we got like 2 or 3 different things and shared them both times.
We also love Hog Island, which there's a place like in San Francisco. There's one in Napa, but Hog Island is oysters.
Yes.
And the best oysters you will ever eat.
So good. Get yourself some oysters, some sparkling.
You know, my one
Be
problem
fancy.
with Hog Island is it's like that community table setting. I don't know anymore since
Oh
COVID.
yeah, I don't. You're right.
I
I
hate
remember
sitting
that.
next to people.
I know we were next to like a bachelorette party.
Yeah.
With those girls, the girls that I was like a couple years ago, and and we were just kind of having more of like a couples romantic thing, and that kind of killed it a little bit. But
Says you. I was enjoying the bachelorette party next to us.
But where Hog Island is, they have like a bunch of restaurants in there.
Yeah.
And do you remember who we saw there?
That's when we saw our friend Kevin Bacon.
Yep, that's when we had dinner with Kevin Bacon.
That's what we like to tell everyone.
Yep.
We weren't actually even at the restaurant.
No.
We were just walking by.
Uh-huh.
And we're pretty sure we saw Kevin Bacon and Kyra Sedgwick.
No, we did.
We're pretty sure.
I'm sure.
We walked by and then I turned around because, again, we had gone to too many wineries.
Mm-hmm.
And
This
I was
is why
like,
you shouldn't go to too many.
Kevin Bacon!
No, you did not.
And I think he gave like a little bit of like a wave.
Yeah.
And so we were like, oh my gosh, we had dinner with Kevin Bacon. So you never know who you're going to run into.
Right?
When you're doing wine tasting.
I know.
And your final tip for, I guess you really have 2. We said reservations. That was one. Okay. And what's your last one?
Yes, I said eat. Don't go to more than 3 wineries. That's just my personal opinion. Look, for someone who's done like 5 to 6 in one day.
Yeah, she has.
Make reservations at the wineries. Get a driver.
Yep.
Obviously, there's Uber too, but I'm gonna.
Don't even do that. Just do if you're going already. If you're spending the money.
Oh my gosh, it's just
Buy the
so
driver.
nice to just know that like your guy is like right there,
Waiting for
or
you.
girl, whoever. Do your research. There's so many wineries, so many. So if you like a specific kind of wine, research it and make your reservations.
Yep.
And then the last but not least,
The most important of them all.
drink water.
Oh, that'd be a good
Drink
idea.
some water
Yeah.
in between. Also, if you don't like the wine, you don't have to drink it.
Really? Because you always told me to finish it.
I know.
You said,
Well, when
use
you're
a
paying
very-
like $50 for a tasting, I'm like, no, you drink it all.
Yeah, you finish that.
You finish it.
I'm like, they have a bucket I can pour it into.
No.
You're like, no, they make fun of you if you do that.
No, but you really can do that.
Yeah, and then you can have some more water. Thanks so much for listening to our podcast. We've had a lot of fun just watching it grow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a little hobby.
Yeah,
of
it's
you
fun.
and I, and all of a sudden we're on all these charts, and we got this sweet review saying, "Love the husband-wife duo. These guys are hilarious. Good audio quality. All right, great stories." It's from Chontos 1978. So. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Rate, review, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. You can listen to it. I don't know. We're everywhere that podcasts are.
Yeah.
And then you can follow us on Instagram, and we're going to post photos of all these wineries,
Yes.
including some where Jen looks ridiculous.
You're
And she's
welcome.
she's eating in every single one.
I can't help it.
No.
I
At least
can't.
you had some food in your belly. Our Instagram is Our Savings Starts Tomorrow.